my channel. Big up to Kelkster again with me. Still no name for this weekly show. She wants me to name this show weekly or Wednesday Wines. What is it?
Wednesday whining. Whining on Wednesday, something like, There's
Yeah,
some W's you can work with.
I'm thinking about. I like the W's. I like the ideas of using the W's. I think you're the one who also suggested Monday Mank Moans, I believe, or something like that.
I did, yeah. I told that to Luke, but I haven't heard back from Luke.
He needs to get onto it. Anyhow, we're getting on with our Mank Derby soon. Now, there's some players potentially returning from injury and a lot of international break stuff, such as Haaland scoring 5 goals against Andorra. Was it Andorra? Or no, Moldova. On one side, yeah, it's Haaland scoring 5 goals, nice. On the other side, I'm like, I don't really care. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't mind it. Let's keep the energy flowing. I hope he saves some goals for Sunday because he might be the only one on the pitch who could score a goal on Sunday based on how this is starting to shape up. So more on that later. But yeah, he needs to score some goals on Sunday because I don't know where the goals are coming from.
Well, Foden could be back. Do you just start him, or is that another one where like crushing plays back?
I think you have to throw him in now because Marmouche is the club has confirmed he's not going to play on Sunday, and that's our second highest goal scorer. So I think you got to throw Foden in. Throw him on the wings so there's not as much to do. Like I don't know which wing he's better at, but just throw him in one of the wings. Maybe not. Don't give him the pressure of being the 10. Personally, I would change that midfield up. Sorry, Bernardo. I don't think you can play in a game like this. I would be playing Rodri and Nico G as a double pivot, and then have Tijani be the 10. It's big. It's physical.
Who would you play? Who would you play in the 10?
Tijani. Put Rangers in there. He can be a 10.
So Tijani in the 10, and then how's the rest of the midfield shaping up?
Nico G and Rodri.
Okay. Yeah, I've said that for a while as well, to just put Nico G and Rodri together, but a lot of people don't seem to want that. What do you think of that?
I think we need it. I think it's clear in the first couple of games. Bernardo doesn't have a lot left in the tank. He's been a great player for our club. I'm not going to slight him at all for his past contributions, but Father Time is catching up with him, and he has been ineffective in a couple of these games. I thought he was absolutely terrible against Spurs, and that was coming off the bench. That he was absolutely awful. All he was doing was losing the ball. And then against Brighton, I think the game is starting to pass him by. Once they made those subs in the second half, we looked a lot worse. I mean, also we can caveat that with Bernardo wasn't on the pitch when the subs came on, so we'll take that point back. But I don't think it's what we need. I think we need people who are going to put up numbers and who are going to put up stats. We keep getting bullied in the midfield. We're losing duels. We're not winning the second ball back. Our press has been non-existent, and I think you just need to put better players in there right now. We have better players for once. We have an injury crisis, but it's not in our midfield. And you can tell Tijani is just getting gassed out in these games because he has to do the work of 3 players right now. When it's Bernardo, Tijani, and Rodri, Tijani is the one doing all the running because Bernardo's not doing as much of it. Rodri can't right now. He's still finding his fitness. He just had a year off. So I understand Rodri not being up to snuff. And to be fair, he has been very good. He was probably our best player in the outfield on Sunday against Brighton. It was either him or Trafford, man of the match for me. But yeah, we got a serious injury crisis now. We still have no clue what's going on with Joshka Vardiel. There's been nothing, no word, nothing from the club, not a hint, not a peep, nothing. We saw yesterday Omar go down. Didn't look too bad. I saw the clip of the injury. That's just bad luck. But then today you see pictures of him with a giant knee brace and crutches. So that sets off the alarm bells a little bit. He's our second highest scorer. That's a big player to lose. And, Vardiel's our best defender based on the 5 center backs that we have. So him being out is affecting us quite a bit. John Stones is performing for now, but I'd say his performances have dropped a bit too. He, unfortunately, the injuries have really caught up to him. He doesn't have a lot of pace. He looked good against Wolves, sure, but I don't think he looked particularly good against Spurs or Brighton. So that's a big problem. Not even just knowing anything about Joško. Like, what's going on? Is it his knee? Croatia Twitter said his knee. That's all I've heard. I've heard his knee ligaments. So that's concerning. The Egyptian doctor said Omar Marmoush was knee ligament problems. So that's also concerning because those can escalate very quickly. It's like a knee ligament can turn into an ACL, and we don't need that after last season. We really don't need that. And then we're also hurting because our best creator, Ryan Cherky, is out. Who's creating right now? Not very many people. Who knows what's going on with Phil Foden? He looked like he was doing pretty decent in that Spurs game in that cameo, and then he just got taken out, and his ankle blew up. So that's a concern. And these are the problem is it's the big impact players. It's not the fringe players. It's like those are 3 starters, I think, in my opinion. Marmoush and Vardial are definitely starters. I think Ryan Cherky will end up being in our 11 this season.
The problem
so
for me,
really
the problem for me is that the goals are gone. Except with Haaland, all the goals are gone.
Yeah. And the ones who are playing, I've proven that they're not very good at scoring goals. Like, we have to rely on Jeremy Doku now.
Bart Foden, who we don't even know if he's going to play, and he's been in poor form recently.
I trust him to score more goals than Jeremy Doku. Foden missed that. Look, Foden had a terrible season last season, and he was our second highest goal scorer, 7 goals in the Premier League. Doku played most of the season. What did he get? 3 goals? Like, it's just dysfunctional right now. I really don't want to have to rely on Jeremy Doku because I'm not going to turn this into a Jeremy Doku. Like, I'm not going to just crap on him for no reason. Like, I'm going to be analytical about it. Like, I just think the team is more dysfunctional. He's in there. He's more of a hero ball type player. Like, I got to do everything. And the problem is the rest of the team can't catch up to him. They can't. They're not on the same wavelength. And so the team just looks disjointed. So that's going to be a problem. We have to rely on him.
I mean, even if the rest of the team catches up with him, he's still not a goal scorer. Even if we play Savio, which I imagine he will, he is ready to play now, he's not going to score. If our only hope for the goal is Haaland, I think we're done. I think we're already done.
It'd be very easy to man mark him out of a game.
I mean, it's easy to mark anyone out of a game. If you've only got to worry about one goal scoring threat, you can mark anyone out of a game. Maybe barred Messi, but it's not fair to compare to Messi. So, can Bob score? We've seen Bob score some clutch goals, but that doesn't translate into consistent scoring. Can Tijani score from midfield? He scored quite a bit for
15 for AC Milan last season.
Yeah. So,
and also, you know who can uncork a long ball along outside the box shot is Rodri. I kind of want to, I don't want to depend on him, but come on, Rodri. We know you got that in your locker. We kind of need to see one of those soon.
With all the injuries we have right now, this is one of the moments where we have to depend on him, I think. But, I mean, here's the thing. At some point in every season, you're going to have to depend on your big players. The thing is, you can't depend on them all season. I think it's okay to depend on your best players in a derby. I don't think it's okay to depend on your best players all season, every season. I think that's the difference.
Well, that kind of is what happened because, Barcelona just depended on Messi for years and years and years, and they won a lot because of it. Like, there's a reason why these players are big players, and I just don't think I'm just really upset that we have to depend on Rodri right away. He's just coming back from an ACL, and we already have to depend on him because our captain is no longer reliable. His form has been poor, and Tijani is taking time to adapt to the Premier League. And I think after the Wolves game, we thought he'd just slip right in, and then the next 2 games were like, oh, maybe he's going to take a little more time than we thought.
I disagree that Silva is not reliable. I think you always know what you're going to get from Silva, and if you're winning 3-0, Silva will kill a game. But if you're losing 3-0, he'll also kill a game. And you don't want the game to be dead when you're losing 3-0. So I think we know what he's going to give us. He's going to completely kill off the game. But I think the problem is we don't need that most of the times. Most of the times we need the game to be flowing. Now, I think also, if I'm thinking back at the Wolves game, Tijani had to do less running. I'll look at the Tottenham game. I'll look at the Brighton game. He had to run a lot more, didn't he?
Yeah. I mentioned that while you were away. That's a big problem because he's running out of gas. He doesn't have the stamina for it yet. Like it takes time to build that stamina back up when you're coming back from like a vacation. We had that month. We had the month off. We didn't have a lot of preseason. I just, he just might not be ready for that. Like that might not have been his expectation coming into the season. I don't think he thought he was going to have to cover for 3 people in the midfield. One of them is himself, but
yeah,
that's a problem. Like if Bernardo's going to be playing all these games, somebody else has to do a lot of the work for him. And so you're basically playing with 10 men in that case. And somebody else has to sacrifice their game to accommodate Bernardo. That's a problem. Like I would not be using him every game.
If Husinov doesn't play, he also has to compensate the pace of Husinov or the lack of pace from centre backs when Husinov isn't playing, which I think is a big part. Yeah, he's working for 2 centre backs when Husinov doesn't play. He's working for the front 3 that barely presses without Marmouche, and he's doing all the midfield work. He might as well be the entire team. I mean, he's covering 6 players.
That's an injury waiting to happen.
Yeah. Not as just an injury. I think you can be fine on that with proper medical staff, which I'll get to later. But
starting to question if we have that.
I mean, I must say it in a crude way. Yeah, the guy who used to be in charge of our medical staff died because he had cancer. Or I don't know if he died yet, but I know he quit because he has cancer. Without a leader in that medical staff. Now, crude as it is, whoever has taken charge there is not good enough to replace him. We need to get someone proper in. Because I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think in the 4-beat season at some point, we started picking up injuries that we never did before then. And when did this person stop working at Man City? I forgot his name, my apologies. It's in the 4-beat season. So correlation isn't always causation, but I'm just saying that might be a big problem there that we're facing. Because you look at, for example, Juventus, when they were winning like 10 Serie A in a row, they didn't have the best coaches. They did not have they sometimes had the best manager, but not always. They didn't even have the best players. But you know what they had? The best medical staff in world football. And we had that for a while. We barely got any injuries after 1920. But now we're picking up all these injuries. Why? It's not just bad luck. 2 injuries, 3 injuries, that's bad luck. How many do we have? 7? That's not bad luck. That's
like
13 else.
Right now or something like that.
Jesus.
It's ridiculous. There's a list. Maybe it's close to 10, but there's something going on in training too, because we've had some devastating injuries in training. Like Brian Turkey got injured in training. I think I believe I was reading some French sources. So 1, don't quote me on the translation, and 2, don't quote me on the accuracy, but I believe the French media have said that he tore a quad or something like that. That's 2 months out. And then Joško, what the hell happened to Joško? We've heard nothing. And that happened in training also. So I'm questioning why the training is so intense right to start the season out, because these players need to I think they need to warm their bodies up a little bit more before they can start doing this intense stuff.
You know what thing is, because I was watching stuff of Patrice Evra. When I get bored, I do random stuff. So
and we all.
I hope so. Otherwise, I'd be a right old Wake chapel now. Anyhow, I was looking up stuff from Patrice Evra while watching stuff, and at Juventus, he played until he was 38. And he said, I never trained as hard until I got to Juve. But he said, I would have not gotten so many years out of my body if I didn't train so hard. Because what they did at Juve, the fullbacks, they had to do 12 miles. You had to do exactly 12 miles. And if you ran 9 miles, not good enough, the next day you had to do 3 extra. You had to pick up your 12 miles every day. Any game you don't do it, next day you're covering it. They got you up, like, I don't know what it's called, but they check your blood, they check your vitals while you are running. And if you say, I'm tired, they're checking your blood sugars and all of that. They're saying, no, we can see you can still run more. And they keep pushing him until they see from his blood, now you have to stop. And then you stop. And then you do your recovery. and it's very meticulous. I think that we're just training for the sake of training. I don't know if there's really any measurement in here. Do we strap these players up every week, see how their vitals are doing? Do we give them scans every week? I strongly doubt that.
I think something's happening though, because you see them wearing like well, for me it looks like a training like a training bra basically. Like me seeing a man wearing that is just very weird to me. But I think those have like little sensors in them that are, because otherwise why else would they wear them? I think because you can see like there's like a little black box in like the back of it, and it's like checking their stuff. But I don't know what that does.
Sorry, that's for your heart rate. That must show the heart.
Okay,
rate.
so that's some sort of vitals they're taking, but are they taking blood? I don't know. I don't know how they test that. Is that like a patch or something like that we just can't see? I don't know.
I mean, they can take blood through your fingers. They can take blood through your fingers, so you won't really notice that.
Yeah.
By the way, big up the deal. Marmouze is injured. Fuck's sake, with this small squad, we could seriously use Echeverry right now. That's the thing. We don't have a small squad. We have a 27-man squad because Phillips is here.
The problem is a lot of them are still kind of dead weight.
Most of them, would I even say?
I would say, a lot of them are just not, they're not the ones you want to be relying on in a season. Like, I don't want to, if we were relying on Bernardo Silva this season, that's bad. If we're relying on Mateo Kovacic this season, that's bad. Doku, Savio, these are developing players. Kava and Bernardo are, Nathan Ake, John Stones, they're the kind of players who are going to be leaving. They don't have anything left in the tank, really. So these are not the players I want to be relying on this season.
I think Kovacic can give you something in a very specific game. I think Silva can give you something in very specific circumstances.
Yeah.
But
true.
Over the course of a season, just no. And we need players who can do something over the course of a season. If we had Echeverry, if we had sold Doku and brought in someone, let's even forget about touching the wingers. If we had bought a right back, set right back, and put Nunez as a backup winger, who's proven to be able to score and assist. He's a very good crosser.
Yeah.
There you go. You've got more options. Now you keep Echeverry, and instead of having Ake as your backup centre back, you bring in Yumaba. These are options.
Victor Hayes.
Also Victor Hayes. Your squad size does not change, but the depth becomes way deeper because, one, you don't bring in injury-prone players until they touch Man City, at least. And you bring in actual quality, which I think just gets overlooked. You need quality there. Not just numbers, quality. We don't have that.
Well, yeah. Yeah, because then that comes down to recruitment, too. Because, Calvin Phillips, we're still stuck with that guy. He's like... It's certain things you just can't get rid of. Calvin Phillips is one of them. And that Echeverry one really hurts because Foden and Cherki out at the same time. That's something nobody could have predicted either, because Ryan Cherki had a great injury record. I was looking it up on Transfermarkt. The last 4 seasons, he missed like 2 or 3 games. In 4 seasons, he played like he was not injured. And then as soon as he gets to City, he gets a 2-month injury.
I think, to be fair, you're always going to get some players wrong. I don't know if the problem is recruitment or the absolute stupendous wages we put these players on, which makes it impossible to sell them. You look at Chelsea,
like Stones, Ake. We barely got rid of Akanji. I think that was because of wages. We had to wait till deadline day to get rid of Gundogan because somebody thought it was a brilliant idea to give a 35-year-old $230K a week. Like, what are you doing? Like stuff like that. Well, also those bodies being here and not leaving until the end of the window meant we couldn't bring somebody in. And so we got rid of them and that brought the squad numbers down. But like now we have gaping holes in our squad. We should not have kept them. Like getting rid of those players was the right decision. They're not good enough anymore. But the fact that we gave them so much money meant we couldn't move them on in time to get to get actual quality in. So now we're just kind of stuck in this like no man's land. And we might have to buy a lot in January.
I mean, we definitely have to buy a right back. It looks like we will buy a right back in January. So that's already non-negotiable.
I've not heard any of this. What do you mean?
So apparently Hugo Vian is looking to buy a right back. that's a top priority for January.
I just question why that wasn't a priority in the summertime. Was it because we had 6 center backs?
I don't
Maybe.
know.
And the problem is that the ones we had to keep for homegrown quotas, but they're like 2 of our worst center backs because they're injury prone and they're very unreliable at this stage in their career. So, but we were forced to keep them for quotas for Champions League. So that to me is some bad squad planning. We've let all of these great youngsters go
because we have 5 players already who are not just homegrown but club trained. We have Bettinelli, who's association trained, which is a fancy way for saying homegrown.
It's homegrown, yeah.
So
Ake and Stones are homegrown.
So we need 2 extra players there. You sell Doku or Savio, I don't care which one it is, and you bring in not Bettinelli, Jared Bowen or Morgan Rogers or whoever. You've got 7.
Or Gibbs White would have been a great purchase. Let's be real. Morgan Gibbs White in our midfield right now would be really good. With all the running we need to do, he's a runner.
And if Pep doesn't rate, for example, Nico Gonzalez, sell him, go buy Gibbs White. And there you go. Your squad size is the same. You've got 8 homegrown players, and all 8 of them, bar maybe Rico Lewis, you can depend on. So I don't see that as an excuse, to be honest, to keep holding on to players.
Yeah, I think I would say that there's a couple of these foreign players who are definitely going to be on the hot seat next summer or even in January to leave. I think it's Doku. I think Mateus Nunes is going to be on the sell list because I don't think he's good enough for this team. I'd rather get better quality than him. And if Pep continues to not rate Nico G, despite him being one of our better options right now in the midfield, then we should just move him on. I'm getting tired of watching him not play. I have no idea why he didn't come into the Brighton game. I'm still like stewing on that. Like, why would you bring Nico O'Reilly in for that? I don't understand that. Like, Nico G is the much better option. And if he's trusting Nico O'Reilly in that situation instead of Nico Gonzalez, that's a big red flag. And I think you just got to cut ties for the poor guy's career. And then again, that's another 50 million. Basically, we paid 50 million for him, and Pep has already decided he's not good enough. I don't get it. Maybe I'm obviously not Pep. He's probably forgotten more football than I will ever know in my entire life. But I don't see him being this terrible player who's ruining our team.
Even then,
I think he's been one of our better players when he comes on.
We don't need to know as much as Pep to know that other people seem to be beating Pep consistently.
Yeah, I brought this up on the live stream, and I got during the watch along. And I got slated for it. I was like, why is this bum manager from Brighton beating Pep twice? Like, who is this guy? This guy's won absolutely nothing in his career. Why is he able to figure out Pep so easily? Why is Thomas Frank able to figure him out? Why is Areola able to figure him out? These are not like managers who have a long resume and have done a lot of things. Like, how are all these? This was just like mid-level managers. Like the top ones are beating him as well. So why are all the mid ones too?
Thomas Frank has a lot to his resume, to be fair, but all these managers, Areola, when he was doing his coaching badges, the basics that he was being taught was Pep's style of football. When Areola was doing his coaching badges, part of the curriculum was the Centurions. They know Pep ball better than Pep knows it. That's a fact. Once you have this revolutionary system, the next generation is going to know it better than whoever invented it. You don't believe that? Arteta, Simeone know Jose Mourinho's football better than Jose Mourinho knows it. You look at Johan Cruyff. Undeniably, Pep Guardiola knows Cruyff's football better than Cruyff did. When you bring through something revolutionary, the next guys are going to look at that and they're going to improve it and they're going to take out the problems with it. Pep's not revolutionary, but he's getting old. I'm sorry to say it to people. It's something that a lot of people just don't want to hear. He's been around for 20 years. It's not new.
Well, then I don't know how that bodes for us because I haven't seen a lot of changes. I'm not tactically astute as some people. I've never played or managed, so I don't understand the nuances as well. But That could be a problem.
I'll say none of us do. I've played football my entire life, or well, 17 years of my life. I will never understand the nuances of tactics like a professional manager will. But I do understand that there are people out there who are overperforming to what Pep is doing. And when you get paid so much to do a job, I don't care how difficult it is to do that job. You're clearly getting paid a lot to be the best at it. Currently, Pep is not.
Yeah, that's a concern because like he's here the next 2 years. So what does that say about our club? Like if he's the one in charge and people are figuring him out, is this going to be the norm the next 2 seasons? Like, I get we've won quite a bit in the past, and I'll never forget that or anything. But I'd like to be contending the next seasons or two. I mean, I'm not going to throw my toys out the pram if we don't win. But like, because that's just like a scary thought. Like, this will affect our recruitment.
This is something I saw recently. Was it Luke? I believe his name is MCFC Lads. I don't know his real name. He was on the overlap, and now I hate how they hound him. I just think it's stupid. But he did say nobody copied Arsene Wenger's style. Nobody copied Fergie's style. Nobody copied Jose Mourinho's style. But those 3 statements are wrong. No of these managers were copied to the extent Pep was. But look at the Premier League before Arsene Wenger and after Arsene Wenger. The Premier League was not always as physical as it was. That's an Arsene Wenger thing. That is something Arsene Wenger brought. The Premier League was not always as good at just defending an off-the block until Jose Mourinho came along. These managers changed the way football was played. Again, not as much as Pep did, but they did change how football was played. That doesn't mean you're always going to be around at the top. Arsene Wenger had a dramatic fall-off. Jose Mourinho had a dramatic fall-off. The only reason Fergie did not have a dramatic fall-off is because by the end of his career, he wasn't even a coach anymore. He was a sporting director. He was sporting director in all but name. He was not on the training pitch. He was not coaching players. He paid other people to do his job, basically. And meanwhile, he was deciding who's going to be signed. He was looking at the infrastructure of the club. He was getting players' houses done. That's stuff a sporting director does. You need to change your role. After 9-10 years, you need to change your role. If Pep isn't willing to do that, he's not going to adapt. You need to change something. I mean, it's adapting. You need to change to adapt. I mean, it sounds logical, but...
Is that what Linders and Colo Torre are doing?
I don't know, because Pep is still in there, giving it all the big, and he's still at the training pitch doing everything. What a different role has Pep taken up, if any?
Yeah, I definitely agree with something you said about you said Ferguson wasn't like coaching players anymore. I think Pep has kind of stopped coaching players as well, because we're not seeing improvement in some of these players. Like Doku's been here, this is 3rd season. We haven't seen any improvement on him. Nico G a little bit, but I feel like we haven't seen a lot of improvement on him in this short time.
It's that also true, though, because we saw Pep coaching Nico Gonzalez in preseason a lot. So,
well, that's preseason. Like, is that what happens every day, or is that for the cameras in preseason?
Fair.
We haven't seen an Inside City in a while, so I don't know. Is he coaching Nico G? I don't know. All the rumors I hear, you hear rumors and innuendo. You don't know if any of it's true or not. Is that Pep like really hates Nico G or something? Like, it's like he's punishing him or being mad at him because he brought him in. He's an 8, and he's asking him to be Rodri, and he's not Rodri. So like he's mad at him for not being Rodri, and I just think that's so unfair. Obviously it's rumors, maybe it's fake news. I don't know. You just see whisperings here and there on Twitter, and you hear.
I don't mind if Pep Guardiola says I do not rate Nico Gonzalez. I don't mind. But
yeah, I agree. Sell him. Then just sell him.
Yeah, go sell him and go buy Baleba or whoever. It doesn't have to be Baleba. Just throwing a name out there. You can't tell me there's not a single 6 that Pep rates. But there's someone out there, surely. Big up, by the way, to everyone in chat. Big up to Ahmed, to Vasco. This is the small squad mentality. Pep's absolutely insane if he believes that small squads still work these days. It's the thing. It's not a small squad. It's just not a very good squad. We have 27 players, which is
that's true.
More than the maximum amount. It's just not a very good one.
Some of it is like these project players we've signed, and I don't know. Some of them just might not be good enough, and we've had a decent amount of time to see some of them. Some of them we haven't seen enough out of them to know. Like the academy is such a mixed bag. Like I know we're using Nico Riley and Rico Lewis. Like for me personally, I think I've seen enough out of Rico that I don't think he's good enough. I mean, he's useful, like you said. Like you've said about other players. Rico is useful in some games, but if it's a big game, physical, he leaves too many gaping holes on defense. And he's not a defender, so I don't know why he keeps getting played there.
Because he's not good enough in midfield either.
So then that's the point. Then why don't we should have sold them? Why didn't we sell him?
I mean,
we had a £30 million offer, and apparently last season we had a £50 million offer. Like, if he's not, why aren't we just taking the money and running? It's PSR, pure profit. Like, why are we giving him a contract extension if we don't think he's good enough?
I mean, maybe that's differences between Pep and the board. I don't know. I think if I'm Pep, I will just say, go sell Nico, let him have a good career. I believe Crystal Palace is the one who came in with an offer for him. Sell
Rico or Nico?
Rico.
Rico, I think it was Nottingham Forest this window offered $30 million for him.
Forest.
Nottingham Forest, yeah. And imagine him under Ange. He might actually.
No. No one is good under Ange. No one is good under Ange. That's a career killer. By the way, Ahmed, if we lose, sack him. Think Foden will play. I don't know what that has to do with earlier statements, but Foden should play, I think. He's the only goal scorer we have that's not injured, or Haaland. If we lose, listen, I've been saying to sack him for a while now. It's not just if we lose this game. I think we probably win this game, not because we're good, because United is incredibly terrible.
I'm very nervous because the problem is that Ruben Amorim is in Pep's head. After last season, he's in the guy's head because he slapped us at the Champions League game, and then at the Etihad we bottled it in the last minute. And then remember the approach at Old Trafford. We didn't even try to win the game. We played for a 0-0. Like Pep doesn't do that unless someone's in his head. Like we needed a point. Like we needed a win in that derby. At the time, we desperately needed a win, and he went for a draw. I was like, Pep doesn't do that. Like I think he's just in his head. So I'm really nervous about this game. And they have the kind of players that can't hurt us based on the shape we're playing, because we don't really have the quality. I feel like this has been a theme for a while now. Is we don't have the players that Pep to run the system Pep is trying to run. We're mishmashing it with we're playing Nunes as a right back. We're playing these wingers who aren't good enough. Our midfield's not good enough. Like, I don't think we have the players to play this shape that he wants to play. So he's trying to shove square pegs into round holes, and it's just been a failure. And I don't understand why we've been seeing this for 12 months and we haven't really seen an adjustment to it. Why aren't we playing the player's strengths? Like Tijani's not a 6. Play him as a box-to-box. He's much better. You have Rodri back now, so play Tijani where he's better. Bernardo's not good enough. Stop playing him. Like Doku's not good enough. Stop playing him. Like Savinho's a left winger. Stop playing him on the right. Or if you're gonna play Doku, put him at the right wing where he's better. Like I don't know what's going on. There just seems like there's so many frustrations right now, and clearly I'm being emotional about it right now. So
what you said just made me think of a meme. So I'm just gonna share my screen quickly. I think we all know this one.
It feels like our lineup.
That's right. It goes in the square hole.
The square hole is Haaland playing at striker.
Yeah.
And how about this rectangle? That one, that goes in.
It's Haaland again. That's Rodgers the 6.
Yeah, sure.
We've got this thin rectangle.
That's Vardyal when he plays at the left back.
Guess where
that's a center back. No, Vardyal's center back.
It goes in the square hole. And up next, a cylinder. I think that goes in the square hole.
That's Nunes being a
Now,
right back.
we've also got this semicircle right here. Do you see a
That's Doku being a Man City player, by
slot
the
that
way.
would fit the semicircle? That's right. It's the square hole.
That's Savinho on the right.
Okay. Up next,
I'm going to have to
triangle.
download this, and I'm going to turn this into a Man City meme.
Oh yeah.
You know what hole that goes
The
into,
little,
right?
like the
That's
names
right,
over it.
the square hole.
Yeah.
And up next, we have the arch. And you guessed it.
Oh yeah.
It goes
It's
in the
just-
square hole.
The biggest one of all.
I just think we
That's,
have a better roster. I think we have a better roster than we did last season, and so seeing the same problems, and I think we can do better with the players we have.
I think we have a better
That's
roster, but I think Vasco has a comment here, and I think that this shows where I think the problem lies with his comments. So I'll just read it out. A massive club, bit excited to be fair, but a big club, I'll say, depending on a player alone, Rodri, this is pathetic and shows how this board is shit. There's not been a rebuild. Massive club is a bit of an overstatement, to be fair, but we are a big club, and we should gun to be a big club and to act like a big club. But we are dependent on singular players like Rodri to make the system work. But it's not just Rodri. Everyone can be completely fit. Rodri, 100% fit. Foden, 100% fit. Sherky, Marmoush. If Ait Nouri gets injured, the system Pep is playing breaks.
Yep.
Ake,
and I know he got injured.
Yeah. He's fit to play this game, apparently.
I don't know if he is. Is he actually fit though? I know he just had 2 weeks off, but is that enough to heal him? Because I don't want this to be a situation with Akanji last season where he'd come back and then 4 games later he's injured again because we rushed him back. You can play this system. Why not play Nico O'Reilly there? He looks lost in the midfield. He looked very confident as a left back. Like, just play him there. Ake cannot do that role at all. Like, you saw the shape against Spurs. It completely collapsed when Ake was there because Ake can't invert. He has to just stay back. And that's appropriate in some games, but not in that game, you know. So I don't know why Nico O'Reilly didn't play there.
Yeah, I don't know either why O'Reilly isn't playing there. I feel like we've got players who can do these jobs, but Pep isn't playing them where they should play. If you don't trust Nico Gonzalez to be your 6, play him as an 8.
Exactly. He's a great 8.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the thing, yeah. Pep will say, I don't trust this player, so you're not playing at all. And then he'll take another player, Bernardo Silva, and he'll be like, you're my captain. I mean...
He's just not good enough anymore. That's the problem. He is not good enough to start in the Premier League anymore. Maybe in La Liga or something like that, a calmer league. He's just not good enough at this level anymore. And if we're going to, like I said, if he plays most of our games this season, I think we're in trouble because I just don't think he's good enough right now. I really don't.
Do you think he plays the derby?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, dear. By the way,
yeah, he'll play he'll start playing all the games again, and he's just not good enough anymore. He's really not, and I don't know how else to say it. Like, we get overrun in midfield every time he's in there because he can't do any of the dirty work that he used to do. Like Nico Gonzalez, after game week 2, had won the most duels in the whole Premier League.
Yeah,
there's a great graphic to show and everything. Like, that's what we need. We need somebody winning the ball back, or winning a challenge and stuff like that. And Nico can do that. Bernardo can't do that anymore.
Yeah, and again, I think Pep will play him, but Bernardo Silva, I mean, but he's not even coming off the bench when we need it.
Exactly. Why didn't he? Yeah, when Bernardo subbed off against Brighton, that's perfect to put Nico G in there. And he didn't do it. He put Nico O'Reilly, who looked completely lost. That's too much pressure of a situation to put a kid in. It really is. You got to put somebody with a
it
little bit more
depends.
experience.
It depends on how good the kid is, but we've seen it's not
Yeah,
that.
you can put
good.
Lamine Yamal in there, but Nico Riley's not that level yet.
Yeah.
Probably never will be.
Yeah. I mean, Yamal, God humbles all the arrogant. We know the story of Icarus, so Yamal is just another one.
We'll see.
By the way, to Jake here, 5 viewers just give up. Yeah, when our stream starts for like 3 minutes, it's gonna have 5 viewers. We're up to 20 now, and I actually get only half the watch time and views during international break. When I do these streams with Kelkster, I usually get to 30 live viewers concurrent, which is way better. But international break, nobody really cares. Nothing good to talk about either. No good clickbait either. Last one was a joke, half joke. What isn't a joke is we are playing Man United. I do think we win because their squad is just so poor, but I don't know where to win is coming from. Who do you see scoring? Because I think they'll just try to look up Haaland. I think he can still score. They're pretty pathetic centre back wise, but who else do you see scoring? Because we need someone else to provide something. Because I do think we'll concede a goal.
I need Foden. He hates Man United. I need him to score a goal for me or to create some chances. And I'm going to put some pressure on Jeremy Doku, man. You know what? You're going to be playing a lot of games now. You need to step up to the plate. We paid a lot of money for you. It's season 3. I need a better season out of you, man. I need 20 G and A out of you this season. I don't care if it's more G or if it's more A. You either need to score goals or you need to create chances for people because we paid. We need you. We don't have Omar Marmoush, who is a goal scorer. We need you to step up.
What do you think about playing Doku as a left inverted winger, inside forward, whatever you call it? Let's say, you know how Marmoush plays. He doesn't play as a winger. He plays as an inside forward. What if we do that with Doku? Instead of just playing Doku like a winger, why not? I mean,
because he's not good at it. I think we've seen it before. I don't think he's good at it. He's not good enough shooting the ball.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to be. Just play him there and say, listen, we don't have Marmoush. We're gonna stick with the system. We're gonna bring out the best out of everyone else. You're gonna have to press. You're gonna have to run. You're gonna have freedom.
He doesn't do that though. He doesn't press and he doesn't run. His gimmick is just dribbling past people and then not knowing what to do with the ball. He loses the ball so much that winds me up, man. He's dribbling and dribbling and dribbling and then just goes out of play.
I think he waits for the perfect moment, but there is no perfect moment. That's the problem. In the Premier League, you don't get that perfect moment. And there's also a saying, you cannot cross the ball quickly enough. You just cannot cross the ball quickly enough. If you are at the halfway line, you've got the ball, and you see your striker making a run, you cannot cross the ball early enough. You think you're at the halfway line, it's too early. No. If just play the ball from the halfway line, does not matter. Because if your striker picks that up, it's through one-on-one. You receive the ball out wide. Nobody is pressing you. You think, oh, I'm rather far away from the box. It's too early to cross. Striker is not there yet. No. You've got distance and your striker moves. Just cross the ball. I feel like we wait too long. We always wait for the perfect moment. That's nothing new.
Yeah.
But I think Doku is the epitome of that.
Yeah, personally, I'd like to see Oscar Bob on the right. I thought he looked very good for Norway yesterday. I watched that game because I had nothing else to do. I watched the game. He created a bunch of chances when he came on. He didn't score any of them or get any assists, but he created like a lot of really good opportunities that other players took advantage of. I want to see him on the right. I really want to see Savinho on the left. Let's test Savinho and be like, look, you wanted to leave this summer? Because you don't think you're getting the playing time? Well, here's the playing time. You start the game, you go make something happen, and you do it on the left, which is your best side. He can actually cross from the left. So for Savinho, I just look for assists out of him. I know he's not going to score goals, but if he's getting 10 assists, I'm happy with that. Like that's 10 goals for something that someone's going to score.
Yeah. I mean,
I wish he would score more goals, but like I can handle him, 10 to 15 assists. I can handle that. That's good. That is good numbers.
What do we do then? Left wing Savio, right wing Bob? Is that what you're doing?
That's what I would do. And Holland in the middle. Or yeah, Holland, obviously Holland striker, Savinho left wing, and Bob right wing. Yeah, I would do that. And then I would do Tijani 10, Nico G and Rodri double pivot. And then we pray for the back line. I'm scared to death of the back line. I think that's going to be.
Do you allow Rodri to push up and have some shots? Because I think we need to do that.
I think in moments you can't, because if you play him with Nico G, they can trade places and they do it very well.
Yeah.
And I try Nico G. He can't. He's a decent scorer. Like you see some of the goal, like that's Gordy's goals for us against Bournemouth. That was a pretty good goal. He can do that. He's got that in his locker. He can carry the ball and go.
Yeah. Kovacic as well, by the way. If Kovacic is fit, put him on the bench, because I think if you're chasing a goal, Kovacic is someone who's shown he can score. Yes, he can.
I don't know. He's like his all-time scoring record's like 7. That's not someone I'm trusting.
7 goals from a defensive midfielder is quite good, though.
He's not a defensive midfielder, though. He's an 8.
Yeah, but that's how he played last season.
Last season, I would not be overly optimistic about Kovacic this season. 41 and an Achilles injury is.
I don't even think he should be here, but those are the tools we have. So we need to bring the best out of those tools. If we are chasing a goal, I think Kovacic makes sense off the bench. I
would prefer him over Bernardo off the bench, to be honest. And also, to be fair, Kovacic and Rodri they have played well together in the past.
Yeah, I agree with that. They play very well together because Rodri. If you think back about the Voorbeat, his Ballon d'Or season, Rodri was only able to win the Ballon d'Or because he got some output. Because nobody would have guessed if he was just a normal defensive midfielder. The only reason he got output is because when he pushed up, Kovacic dropped back and handled the transition. Didn't do it as well as Rodri, but Rodri could trust Kovacic to handle it well enough for Rodri to come back. Can you trust Nico G like that? I mean, maybe he can. Brilliant. Play them together. But if you can't...
That's what we need to be developing. We need Nico G to be developing into that kind of player. Even if it's just a Kovacic type player, like that would help us tremendously. But I don't know how much development is going on behind the scenes, and especially if he already has no confidence. If the manager already has no confidence in him, is he really going to waste time training him? I don't know. Yeah, but that's ideally the kind of player we want. We want Nico G and Rodri playing together, like next season, because Bernardo is leaving next season.
This season,
I would ideally, but you want to get him ready for that. It might take him a while. Because
but
it's not like you just get 2 training sessions and you're an expert at it. Like it takes time.
We have no alternatives, so it has to be this season already.
Well, he needs a chance though. He's not going to get it from the bench. So, but yeah, ideally, he has developed by next season into that kind of player.
Hopefully, because
and maybe he's not good enough. That's also very possible. He could just not be good enough.
But
we need to know. I'm not going to know if he's good enough from the bench. If he plays for a string of games and he's not good, then then you can change.
To be fair to Pep will see him in training and know if he's good enough or not. So if Pep decides he's not good enough and puts him on the bench, that could be the better decision there. I'm just saying I don't agree with the decision. But to be fair, I don't think you need to play a player you don't think is good enough just to prove he's not good enough. But Rodri will be losing patience, I think. Thiel alludes to it with potential loss to Arsenal. 1 game at a time, please. I can't do it. I used to say, we're going to smack this team. Like in the treble season. I didn't do YouTube yet then. But back then, I could say, we're going to smash Man United. We actually lost against Man United, but that was fraudulent. I said we're going to beat Southampton, and we lost against them, also a bit fraudulent. But the important thing is, the majority of games, we won. And I would be saying at the start of the season, we're beating this team, that team, but we can't do that anymore, can we? We get humbled a bit too much.
I look at our next 4 games, and then the only win that I see coming up is the Burnley game.
What game do we have after after Arsenal.
I think it's in the Premier League. It's Burnley. It's Burnley.
So
I don't know if Huddersfield is in between that or not.
But I'm mainly concerned about the Premier League right now.
Yeah, we have in the Premier League we have United, then Arsenal, and then Burnley. And then I think it gets even uglier after that because like I feel like we just have all these like really awful games like to start the season. Like, let me double check this. Let me double check the fixtures. Let me see.
But by the way, Teal, saying Tijani is not a DM. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but a lot of AC Milan fans do tell me he plays brilliant in the DM role. So I don't really agree either.
I have the schedule. So we have in the Premier League, we have United at home, Arsenal away, Burnley at home, and then in October we have Brentford away. Oh God, that's always a nightmare. Then we have Everton at home. Jack Grealish cannot play in that game, so that's good. And then to end October, we go to Aston Villa. They're crap right now, so hopefully that holds. And then in November, we have Bournemouth at home. That's a scary game. Oh God. Then we have Liverpool at home. Ugh. And then right after Liverpool at home, we go to Newcastle. And then to end November, we play Leeds at home. And we have Fulham away. Then we have the Premier League. Yeah. Then we have Sunderland at home. Then we have Crystal Palace away, West Ham at home, Nottingham Forest away, and then we play Sunderland twice in a month. And then we go to
that happens before. I believe
weird.
we played West Ham twice in a month.
That's the end of the end of the calendar year. So yeah, there's some big games in there.
I'm picking up maybe 25 points there. Yikes. Which is 28 points after 20 games played.
That's not good enough. That's mid-table.
That's
out of Europe too, probably. Yes, that could be out of Europe, yeah. We have to pick up some points in these big games. Like Newcastle's always tough, but we got to at least get a draw there. Like, you know.
I mean,
if we could somehow get a draw against Liverpool at home, that would be like I'm not confident in that game at all. Because their strengths are exactly our weaknesses. Like they're going to be pressing and going long on it. They're going to be testing that high line, and they have the pace to guard us. Like Ekitike and Isak could absolutely destroy that, even if you have Husinov in there. Like,
should we just play a deep block against Liverpool and say we're not good enough to come out and play? I would too. Against Man United, by the way. I would not play that high line against Man United. I would say drop back a bit, mid-block. Don't let Mbeumo just run in behind. That's stupid. Make sure Mbeumo, he can receive the ball out wide, sure, but make sure we have time to come back. And that's what mid-block is basically. It's trying to give yourself time.
You know who excels in a mid or a lower block is Diaz.
Yeah, but
he's much better in those scenarios. Like he's actually one of his best season is when we played the high line was a little further back. That was his best season for us.
Also, when you've got pace there, such as Husinov, we can't play a high line in these big games. Against Arsenal, by the way, I would just 4-4-2 or even 4-4-1-1. The difference there is you have someone floating around striker who can pick up the clearances. Just a 4-4-1-1. Deep block, defense nasty, and try to get the ball on a counter. Because you'll see Haaland, by the way. He can cook center backs on a counter.
We have runners to counter more. And also, Arsenal really struggle against a low block. So
yes,
why not play a formation that they struggle with? Like that was their downfall last season. They just could not win these games in low blocks. So why aren't we trying that? Like, plus I think it'll bring the best out of Diaz too. You know, you don't have to do it every game, but you could do it in games like that.
I mean, I think our squad is not bad. I think we both agree on that. But our squad is not world class. It's, I won't say average, but it's above average.
We have a very good squad. I agree. At least our starters are. Our bench is to be desired. But
Yeah.
also to go back on the Arsenal point, how did we win the last time we won at the Emirates? It was by playing a low block and countering. They had the ball like 70% of the game. We barely touched the ball and we countered them and we scored 4 goals or 3 goals.
The same with Bayern München, by the way, in the treble season at the Etihad. We spanked them 3-1 and we barely had the ball.
Yeah. And that was a 3. That was a 3-0 at home. Yeah, that game. Was,
yeah.
Again, Rodri outside the box. And yeah, Holland loves those kind of games too. He thrives in transition. Like he's a runner, and this possession ball doesn't suit him. And I think Tijani, he can run too, and he's not going to play. But Marmoush loves to run, and you might get more out of Savinho and Doku too, because they're pretty good carrying the ball and running and dribbling. So
especially
got to start moving into that.
Especially Savio. I think Savio, the only times he finishes a chance well is 1-on-1. If I look back at his La Liga days, 1-on-1 without centre backs around you, you've got a bit of time to shoot. That's when Savio excels. You know, you've got 3 different finishers. You've got people who finish with their heads. They just think about how they're going to score, and they need a bit of time. But when they've got time, they'll score. You've got just instinctive finishers. When they think about how they're going to finish, they flop because they think, they overthink, and they do something wrong. But if they're just in the moment, take Morata, in the moment, ball comes to you, no time to think, just action, they tend to score. And then you've got the third option, which is the finisher in general who can do both. I think Savio is the type of player who needs time to think when he finishes, which suits you better in La Liga. In La Liga, you've got more time to think, which is maybe why he excels there. If you play a counter-attacking style of football, run in behind, get a counter where Savio is going to have the ball for 2-3 seconds before he shoots, he's going to finish better. So we need to play a system which suits these players.
Yeah.
Against Man United.
We've been buying these kind of players too. Like Kovacic, he's good in those kind of situations. Nunes is very good in those kind of games. That's how they played at Wolves. Holland, someone else, I'm blanking. But yeah, Doku and Savio thrive in that. Like we have all these players and asking them to do things they're not good at is just not really working. Also, Holland, there are very few center backs. When Holland is running in behind, there are very few center backs in the world that can keep up with him. I mean, so I don't know why we don't unleash him a little bit more often. You don't even have to do it all the time. You could just do it in moments and games. And we kind of did that with Ederson a little bit. That obviously won't be an option now with our 2 keepers that we have.
I mean,
so that's actually a really interesting question. What keeper do you start on Sunday?
I don't care, to be honest. Now, you do have to go soon, by the way.
Oh, yeah, because you have another stream.
Yeah. You have a stream later. I have to go.
Not for another hour, but yeah.
I have to go pretty soon, so I guess we'll round up on that question. I don't care who plays as a goalkeeper. As long as it's not Bettinelli. I think our goalkeepers are good enough.
So start Stefan Ortega. No. I think we're stuck with Ortega right now because and again, some mystery injury behind the scenes. Bettinelli apparently is out until 2026. But nobody knows what it is. If you're out for 6 months, it must be an Achilles or an ACL. Like those are, or a torn hamstring or something. Those are some long-term injuries that I can think of off the top of my head. But what do I know?
By the way, Ostrich brings up a very good point. Liverpool fans don't rate Pep Lenders. So
oh yeah, they were happy when we signed him. They're like, good, he's going to tear him down from inside or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like the mole.
Double agent.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, dear. Anyhow, score predictions against Man United.
I don't know. That game, it stinks of a draw to me. I don't know what it's going to be, though. It'll be a minimum of 1-1, but I'm not trying to be negative. I really don't have the faith right now. I have not seen what I've seen in the past few games has really kind of knocked me back. So I'm not. This just feels like the most trap bogey game of all time. And with Amorim, and I'm convinced Amorim is in Pep's head. So I see Pep overthinking this, and when Pep overthinks, we tend to not get results. So
yeah, Champions League final. FA Cup final,
FA Cup
finals.
Final, twice in a row. Yeah, a lot of finals, a lot of big games too.
Yeah. By the way, Mob, you make it sound so easy. When I say you can't cross the ball in enough, because that comes Pinte, that also I was talking about crossing the ball in. That's not my advice. That is advice of prof players like Thierry Henry. You can't cross the ball in enough. Even if you're shit, you need to cross that ball, because the more time your striker has to get to that cross, the better. And the closer you are to the box and the less time there is, probably the better cross you can give. When you get an opportunity to cross, you should cross. That's what professional players say, and that's in my experience as an amateur striker when I played football. That's what I had the best of, when my wingers got the ball, one touch control, one touch cross. Just don't overcomplicate things. Anyhow, I do have to go now. I will be redirecting this stream towards the stream of Michael. So big up to everyone in here. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Helps out a ton. Big up to everyone in here. I've never had this much viewership in an international break. Normally views in international break are fucking dead. I mean, normally I get more views with Kelkster on as well, but still.
We're trying.
International break tax, that's what we'll call it. I mean, to be honest, I'm also lifeless when it's international break, because I don't even care as much. I think when even you think this is dead, views are going to be lower, aren't they? Anyhow, we'll leave it at that. Thank you again for coming on, as always, Cal. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.